Hi, I am back with a process video. I know it's been a long time, and I'll have another video about that soon. So first, I just want to go over where my inspiration's coming for this layout. I like on this Pinterest pin, I like the graphics of how they did the different layers of lines of rectangular boxes in the vertical way. So that is my inspiration for my layout. And also I am going to be using some photos that I just recently printed from Amazon. I really do, it takes a while for them to get here, but well, not maybe a week or so, but I have been happy with Amazon prints. So I'm not quite sure what photo I'm going to print, but I have a few here that I may print up to as for my thing. I do know if I want to do the vertical little strips, I want it to be a horizontal photo, and I'm kind of just looking for one that kind of, maybe that one. That one's not horizontal, or I can do this one and crop out what I want to crop out. I don't know. I think it's going to depend on what pieces I'm going to choose. I just chose this paper because I saw it in my table at my stash as I was cleaning up my scrapbooking area because it had become a disaster. So anyways, I am going to figure this out, which one I'm going to do, pull up papers that I want to use and stuff, and put you over into the voiceover. Okay, so I'm going to quickly whitewash this back paper with some white acrylic paper, and that was watered down to give the paper a little bit of texture where I'm going to put all the little strips that I planned and for my photo. And here I'm just deciding I'm going to be cutting the strips of paper that I did, and I just looked through my scraps of what I wanted. I knew I wanted the kind of a blue and to go with the gray, and then I thought like a pop of purple would be good as well. I had a hard time actually finding some purple paper since it seems to be not one that I carry a lot in my stash. So I did find some, and then when I was looking through my pile of my embellishments where I just piled up what I thought I could use for this layout, as you see there on the left, I did notice that I had a lot of purple little embellishments, so I was pleasantly surprised with that. And so I ended up using this photo of the lake, of White Rock Lake in Dallas, and then so I'm just going to mat it onto this white cardstock and navy cardstock just to kind of give it a little pop off the page so it doesn't kind of get that lost into the gray background paper there. But when I was looking at my photos, I just felt like that one worked the best with this layout, or this paper that I had chosen to be my base. So here I'm just cutting the strips of those that I had down a little bit more to be able to lay them down onto my layout. That I have no rhyme or reason of the length or of these little strips. I'm just cutting them, and then now I'm just going to lay them down kind of in rows, but not any purpose of what color comes next or any pattern or sort. So like I said, I'm using that picture I found on Pinterest as my inspiration. I just liked how it had the random strips of rectangles on it to kind of give it a pattern, the image effect to it. So that was my inspiration for this I thought, imagining this layout, that it would look good with just a bunch of little strips of paper as kind of the background behind an image. So I'm laying down the second row here, and I'm going to realize when I'm messing with the photo that they're hidden because I didn't want yet I wanted the photo higher up on this paper. So I'm going to move them, peel them up and move them over and down to be able to fit where I want them behind this photo. So they're just not completely covered up in being wasteless paper that's on there but not being seen. So here I'm going to lay down the rest of the papers and just kind of tuck them underneath the photo here. Again, there's no reasoning behind where they lay them. I just kind of grabbed one and picked up a sheet and just laid it down. I do like how I have a mixture of the thick and thin rectangles. I like the illusion that it gives to the layout. And I did choose some gray paper as well to go with those little strips. And then I'm going to do another little third row down here at the bottom. After I fuss with these few strips right there. And just kind of lay them down in another row to kind of a little bit fit with the other ones, but somewhat. So I'm going to finish laying down these strips, and then I'm going to move on to adding my embellishments here, which, like, again, what I said was I just went through my piles of embellishments and just looked and pulled out and made a big pile of what I thought would work for this layout. I tried to grab different embellishments like stickers, enamel dots, ribbon, anything I thought would work. So kind of just cleaning up here. I have pulled out washi tape, which I don't end up using. So I'm just kind of go from the pile, from what's on top, and just kind of start sticking it down onto this layout. You'll see how I'll pick up some of the embellishments, the clusters of embellishments to kind of tuck things under or on top of. So I have some wood chips, and all these embellishments are from old kits that I was members of, like Studio Calico, the Messy Box, which I don't think is around anymore, and Purkey kits. And as you can see, some of you can see that's a beautiful mess, the Messy Box that some of these embellishments are coming from. These are little stickers that have little sayings about the weekend on it. And since this photo was taken during the weekend, I just thought they'd work. I think some of these little tear outs came from a Studio Calico kit probably like a year ago. Excuse me, the Messy Box stuff is like from 2 years ago. I may have noticed I haven't scrapbooked or posted any videos up on my YouTube channel in a long time. Just life has gone busy for me. I didn't have a chance and kind of just need some more inspiration. I have scrapped a little bit, but not as much as I would like to. So hopefully I get my inspiration, my creativity mode going so I can keep making some more scrapbook pages. So you see I'm kind of peeling things up to kind of stick it back underneath there, and I had to zoom out real quick, sorry. You saw my setup a little bit. My camera had died and I had to plug it in to get it working again. So here I'm just using some those Amy Tangerine embellishments those are really old. Those are probably like 3 or 4 years old. I think they're like vellum puffy sticker thingies. What else am I going to put on here? I'm going to lay some down enamel dots. I love these little arrows from Studio Calico, these fabric arrows. I've had them forever and kind of hoard them, but I've used them throughout the years. It just, like I said, I haven't scrapped in a while, so they don't get used all the time, so that's why I still have the stuff, which works out. So now I'm going to lay down some enamel dots, kind of do little clusters of enamel dots with the colors that I have used throughout the thing, and I decided to go here with some silver ones to kind of match with the gold or the gray. And next I'm going to move on to my title. So here I use these stickers, and you can kind of see that they're kind of cut at the top because they came from a Tuesday morning. So that's probably why they were cheap and why they were at Tuesday morning, because they were defective. But as you saw, I wrote down the title on another on some white cardstock there, because I have the tendency to misspell things, so I have to write it out to make sure I spell it right. So I'm kind of just seeing where I want to write out, where I want to lay the white rock at. And I'll fuss with it a little bit more once I get it done. I'm going to fuss with this R because it was kind of chopped off a little bit. So what I decided doing, since it is chopped off, is to push the letters all really close together, so it kind of makes it harder to see that the R is not, it's kind of chopped off. It's not fully there, I guess. So I decided, I thought it, when I was imagining this layout, laying it out, I thought I was going to put the title over on the left-hand side, I'm sorry, the right-hand side up there. But I actually liked it better down here below the picture. I felt like it fit nicely in between those two embellishment clusters. And so that's where I decided to type right out the white rock. And then I'm going to use these stickers, fabric stickers, letters to lay out. And as I tested it out with some ink on the X to see if I liked the color, and then I decide, I wanted to have a little sparkle to it, so I pull out some of the shimmers that I have, and I'm going to come and spray with it. I think this was called Pop Rock, the one that I used to mist on it to give it a little bit of sparkle. I'm surprised some of these things still, my materials still work because they're so old. But I like how it turned out, the word lake. I like the darkness of it. As you can see, I kind of tested with the X to see if I like that, what color shade of purple I liked, but I liked the darker one better. And so there's the titles finished. Now I'm just going to clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and write out my journaling, which I'm going to do there on the right-hand side of where I'd originally thought about putting the title. So I'm just going to put about what happened while I was at this lake and who I was with, and what we were doing there. And then I'm going to, I believe, I'm going to pull out one of my date stamps for this. Yes, and I kind of was going to use the the phrase on the date stamp, but then I realized it doesn't fit. So I had already inked it, so I just cover it with some washi tape so it would not stamp on there. And then I just kind of date stamped it a couple times. And really like how this layout came out. I am loving the little pops of purple that I found in here. Purple is not a color I have used much in my scrapbooking. And I'm sure I don't know if that's for a lot of people. And as well, I like how the title came out. I was kind of curious to see if the big words would work. I think now I'm thinking, is this the right lake that we were at? Anyways, has to be. It is now. So, and I love how the little strips came from the Pinterest board that I showed you at the beginning. And what else? What else am I loving about this layout? I don't know, I really do like it. I'm really happy with it after I haven't been scrapbooking for a while. I'm really liking it. Now I need to just figure out what album I'm gonna put it in, and then there. So thanks for watching, and have an awesome one.